we started with just covers, and after a little bit of that, we kind of said, why don't we just try to write a song? And if we don't hate it, we'll write a couple more songs. And if people don't hate those songs, then we'll keep writing songs. And so we wrote Empty Thoughts. That was our first song. And I think we just kind of really liked the sound that we landed on with it. So we rolled on with Echoes and Nexus. And then we released Empty Thoughts to nobody. We had no followers, nobody knew who we were. And it started actually getting some responses, and I was like, okay.
This is Rob Ruckus.
Hey, this is Kate Clover.
Hey guys, it's Nick Collins here from The Effect and Better Strangers.
Hi, my name is Madeline Rose.
Hey, it's Ben McKelvey.
It's Tim Howard here from Mike and the Mechanics.
Hello, I'm Amanda Lehman.
I'm Billy Harvey.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Casey Sampson from the band Twist Stop.
Hey, it's Tony from Fastball.
Hello, everybody. My name is Isaiah Mitchell.
Hey guys, it's Matt here from the White Lakes.
You're listening to Almost Famous Magazine.
Come join us for this interview. Check it out, Almost Famous Magazine.
Hey everyone, welcome back to The Hang right here on Almost Famous Magazine. Thank you to everyone who joins us for these incredible hangs with these artists from around the world. Thank you for sharing, subscribing, telling other people about what we're doing. It means a lot, and it really means a lot to the artists as well, as we know for a fact that there have been people who see The Hang and then they go out to a show, they buy tickets and merch and support the artists, and that means a ton to all of us. Today, we're hanging with Austin Eisner, and I can't wait to see this expression, Mr. Colin Fausnaught, fellow Rochester Institute of Technology alumni. Go Tigers!
Let's go. Go Tigers.
Look at you.
Go Tigers. From the indie rock band Austin and the Powers, who recently dropped their version of Sabrina Carpenter's Taste. They've had some great run of shows this summer. I'm super excited. And yes, we're probably going to talk RIT, and Austin's going to be like, what the hell? This is about my band. Guys, welcome to The Hang.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, thanks for having us.
I've got another surprise for about RIT too. We're going to hang that one for later. Colin's not going to believe what I'm going to tell him later. But we'll do that off camera. Guys, I am so excited to have you here on The Hang. We usually start with your story. I think it's great to get to know you and understand where you came from. So for those not familiar with the band, let's go back to the beginning. What was kind of the genesis of Austin Powers, or Austin and the Powers, and what the band has become up to this point?
The beginning for Colin and I goes back to what, like fifth grade?
A long time ago.
Probably, yeah. Just very involved in music together our whole lives, and I think we just hit a point, particularly after like the pandemic had started, where we realized that we didn't like not having music involved in our lives. And I just kind of texted him. I was like, hey, let's start a band.
Austin was like, hey, we're going to play music locally and you're going to play bass. And I was like, cool.
So you were like all in from day one.
Yeah, we had already, I feel like when we were younger, we always had an idea of starting a band or whatever, and we just never really got around to it. And then I went off to college, and Austin went off on contracts and, performing all over the country. And I don't know, it was just like the perfect moment where I had finally moved back to Williamsport after college, and we were just kind of depressed from the pandemic and just wanted to, be bros and hang out with him and Nick and Taylor, and it was it was a great time. I mean, we started playing just cover music actually.
Yeah. So we started with just covers, and after a little bit of that, we kind of said, why don't we just try to write a song? And if we don't hate it, we'll write a couple more songs. And if people don't hate those songs, then we'll keep writing songs. And so we wrote Empty Thoughts. That was our first song. And I think we just kind of really liked the sound that we landed on with it. So we rolled on with Echoes and Nexus. And then, we released Empty Thoughts to nobody. We had no followers. Nobody knew who we were. And it started actually getting some responses. And I was like, okay, then maybe we should actually get a little serious about recording music. And then after a little bit of time went by, we dropped Nexus and just started noticing the numbers were disproportionately larger than the first two songs that we had dropped. It was doing twice the amount of streams a day that they were doing, even like when they just came out. And one day we just woke up and it had randomly hit like 1,500 streams the day before. And then a couple days later, it had like 3,000 streams the day before. And then fast forward to now, and it's, I don't know, like
close
what,
to
3
close to
million?
4, I think. On just Spotify.
Yeah, that's Spotify. Yeah. So it's nice to see that kind of evolution of people starting to care a little bit, and we started to see a reflection of that on our social media following, which is great because as an independent band, like that's how we tell people what we're doing. Put in our stories, hey, come see this show. Hey, we're dropping new merch or new songs coming out. It all kind of comes up there.
Well, for someone who's new to your music, how would you describe your sound to someone who's never heard it before? And really, how did you land on the sound? You brought your friends together to form this band, but how was it not that like one guy's like, hey, I want to do metal, and one guy's like, I want to do funk, and I want to do rap? I mean, how did you guys land on the sound?
I think for Colin and I, we have a lot of very similar influence musically. Just kind of going back to going through childhood together and stuff. We had a lot of interests that kind of crossed over pretty similarly. And then I also think just like a little bit of just the instruments we had access to when we started just kind of fed into the type of music we could play. And it just all kind of, avalanche down towards this like indie rock sound that's I would say is a little bit like it's indie pop rock. I call it indie vibe rock. There's a little bit of new wave influence, a little bit of pop influence, and of course a lot of indie rock in there.
It helps that Austin got obsessed with guitar pedals around the time we were starting the band, so that really dialed in the sound right away.
Really. So what pedals did you get obsessed with? What were the pedals that made up your sound?
The most important pedal, I think, in the Austin and the Powers pedal board arsenal was the Walrus Audio Julia V2 chorus vibrato pedal. That was like the signature, like you hit a chord and like, oh, that's the sound. Then just kind of from there, it was like, how can I build on this sound and kind of like dial it in a little bit more?
What else do you have in that arsenal of pedals?
He's got a whole skateboard.
Oh man, I have the I wish I brought it. I wish I had it. I have a Joyo Audio flanger because they're like $30 and they sound incredible. I have an MXR overdrive pedal. I like a tiny little bit, just a little bit of crunch, but not too much. I have a Walrus Audio ambient reverb pedal, and we actually just got a JHS rotary chorus pedal that we've been playing with that sounds really nice. It's got a little bit more of a retro sound that I think adds a nice little texture to our live sound. So we get to sound like pretty similar, but there's a little bit of a difference in our live sound. So I think there's a nice reason to come see us live because it's like a little treat.
Nice. So now, Colin, I have to ask you: any of your gear come from the House of Guitars?
No, unfortunately not. No, I've played with a lot of different basses actually, but I played with an uncle of mine actually passed away when I was younger and like left his bass for me, and that's kind of like the bass that we recorded Nexus and stuff on. I call it like the good luck bass because he always wanted like me to make music and record music with it. It was like a Rockland, I think, or something, or sorry, a Roland. I don't play with it anymore because it's a 4-string. I switched to 5 strings, but yeah, I play with a Fender, just a Fender Jazz 5-string.
Yeah. Have you gone back to Rochester and taken Austin to the House of Guitars so he could check it out?
No. We actually tried to book a bunch of places up in Rochester, but it didn't end up. Yeah, it fell through unfortunately in the last minute. But yeah, no, Rochester's awesome. We'd love to get back upstate. We have a lot of upstate fans actually, which is surprising.
So you haven't played the Bug Jar yet, huh?
No, we reached out to the Bug Jar. Yeah,
we tried. Yeah, we were hoping to,
but we'll try to reach out again now soon. I think we reached out.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a weird time for us as a band, and I think now would be a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
Do an upstate run.
Let's see what we can do. I still got a couple people I know in Rochester.
Awesome.
So let's do this. Now I'll be honest with you. Not Sabrina Carpenter, not on my bingo card or my playlist. And before I got together with you guys today, I'm like, okay, I got to learn a little bit about that song. And I watched her music video, which is like, I mean, it's an aggressively violent music video that has like viewer warnings all over it, and children shouldn't see it or they're going to have nightmares. So how in the hell did y'all come up with the idea that was the cover you needed to make?
Oh man, I've been just kind of in love with that song for quite some time, and I really appreciate it. Like the music video is so, I think, artistic. It adds such a layer to that song. It's just like lore that you just kind of know in the back of your head now. And it just kind of made me think like this song could sound a little more aggressive and a little more rocky, and I think it would still be respectful to the essence of what this project is.
Have you had any feedback from her camp on your cover yet?
Not yet. I hope so. I would love to, even if they tell us to take it down, they know.
All right. So if you're watching today and you know someone affiliated with Sabrina Carpenter, you have to make sure she hears this song.
Please.
Absolutely. It's the power of getting the word out there, guys. So let's talk a little bit about your original creations. Like, where does your songwriting inspiration come from? Where do you pull from?
Good question.
Yeah, I think for us, we always kind of try to create a character, kind of like a caricature of ourselves, based on our life experience, and then write from that character's point of view. That way, instead of just having to kind of pick exact things like, oh, this moment in my life did this and now I'm going to write about it, which we have done, but it just gives you more of like we can put this character that's kind of based on who we are in a scenario and write from what that perspective would be. I think it kind of frees us up and it just kind of makes us feel a little more creative, kind of less stiff.
We've always had sort of a frame of reference or like something we're pointing to for a lot of our songs. A lot of times we come in and we just like we'll do that whole band thing where we're just kind of jamming, right? Or like Austin will come with like a chord progression that he was playing with earlier, and we'll just jam to that and figure something out. But it's always like there's always like a focal point. Like we have like this weird cardboard thing that has like all of our different inspirations and all of our ideas for like specifically where are we focusing, like where's the theme for this song. And we kind of try to like Austin was saying, like weave sort of like a narrative or whatever with that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. So getting a technical degree at RIT, are you the whiteboard guy for the band?
I do a lot of the business stuff. Yeah, we do have a whiteboard. Of course, you have to have a whiteboard, right? Yeah, we have two whiteboards. Whiteboards are super important. Yeah, no, I mean, I think that it's just a lot of just being able to bounce off each other in the room or whatever is super important, and just adds so much because and also like we iterate so quickly, like in the moment we're like, what about this? What about this? Ooh, that sounds better. What about that part of this mixed with that? And then we like, you know what I mean? Like it's just so boom, 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 boom. And that's
we've had so many songs come from part of one song that we decided to throw away. Like that whole song doesn't work, but then we're writing a new one. We're like, hey, do you remember this thing that we were working on before? What if we took that and threw it in?
It sounds great. Awesome. Print it.
Yeah.
And so is it I mean, you know, obviously the first name of the band is the first name of Austin, right? So I mean, are you, is this creation by democracy, or is this creation by, Austin has the final word, and Colin, be very careful on your answer. This could be in your employee review.
So yeah, it's not like the name is more so just like a joke that the fruit was just hanging a little too low for us not to take it. And we just kind of rolled with it, but it's very much a collaborative effort.
Yeah. Has anyone in the Mike Myers camp heard of your band yet?
I hope so.
Not yet.
Well, then we have another assignment. Everybody is watching. If you happen to be Canadian, and we just finished, we actually had every episode of the month of June was a Canadian artist, so there's a good chance somebody might know Mike Myers. That we have to get this band in front of him as well. Going back to kind of the idea that get people interested and to know you a little bit. I think it was 2023. You had Big Brain and Empty Thoughts was your album, and you've had a variety of singles out. So in your current catalog that people can access, right? Regardless of it was a single or on the album, are there one or two songs that you feel are like the first place someone should start to get a real feeling about who you guys are, right? Like is there one or two songs that really show the essence of the band? What are they, and why are they the ones that you should start with?
I think we'll both have different answers. So if you want to go first, Austin, you can.
Yeah. Well, I think if you want our sound, if you want to really understand from a sonic perspective, I think Nexus was a very big creative point for us, where we kind of started with that, thought it was a little too weird that people wouldn't like it because it was a little weirder than the other two songs we had out at that time, but it kind of pushed us to try to be a little bit weirder overall, just try some funky stuff. So just based on sound, I think Nexus and Colorado are probably the most like essential representation of our overall sound. I don't know if you agree, Colin.
I'd agree with Colorado for sure. I think Colorado really sort of showcases like our recent. I mean, we're like our recent growth as a band has been like staying with our sound, but like still growing and expanding and learning, right? And like continuing to play around in that soundscape. I love Heads Up.
Right.
I think Heads Up is my favorite of our songs, and it might just be the bass line, but like, man, I just love that song. We played that song at my wedding. It was great. I really dig that one.
Nice. Well, now people know where to start. I'm curious, Austin, who's been your biggest inspiration, or the individuals had the biggest impact in your career so far? Is there someone who's been that person?
Like in my personal life,
in your career, creatively. I mean, in your career, it could be someone who's had an impact because they mentored you. It could be someone who supported you. Just is there someone who's been like that biggest person in your corner?
Well, certainly the person that put the kind of the fire behind me to pursue music was my high school music director, Kent Weaver. And that was a guy who was just like unwaveringly supportive and confident in the people that he was bringing up in that music program. And there's always anytime I start to doubt myself or something, I kind of think like, you can't slow down or take your foot off the gas now, because you've got good old Kent Weaver. You got to make him proud.
I like that. Colin, how about you?
Musically, I mean, yeah, a lot of the people from high school, like Mr. Weaver, Mr. Radspinner, teaching me bass. God, there's so many people. It's hard to really nail down just one. But man, it's all the people that I worked with also at RIT in the acapella community was super tight with so many people there that just helped me grow so much musically. Tim Breon, my bass teacher, also was so instrumental in sort of taking me. So I originally played just upright bass, and I didn't start actually with bass guitar like seriously until like just shortly after high school, and I didn't really play much throughout college. So Tim really came in and sort of said like, here's the good lessons you learn from upright, and here's how we can adjust it to make you an excellent bass guitarist. So that was super important as well.
Nice. Now, in your musical history, who are some of the influences or artists that you really love and have pulled kind of some of your taste for sound from, right? Like Austin, who are a few artists that have really been either inspirational to you or motivational because you're really attracted to the sound that they make and the style that they have?
Yeah. Well, for me, my favorite band of all time is The Cure, and they play like a really sneaky role in the influence to our sound. And overall, you can't really pick it out, but if you really listen for it, you can kind of see some of the synth choices and a lot of just like the direction of some of our songs. It's in there. Um, their song, Just Like Heaven, is the song that made me want to write music. And currently, Wallows, their sound is just so locked in. They sound so good all the time. Every song they drop, I'm just like, I'm there at that midnight. I'm ready to listen to it. And yeah, I think they're probably my biggest current influence.
Yeah. And Colin, how about you?
Well, I know Beach Fuzz was a big one for us when we first started as well, which is like a band out of Philly. They're awesome. Panic at the Disco, big Brendan Urie fans. Man, what else? I mean, I love Peach Pit, so I'll throw Peach Pit in there just because I think they're like a good modern example of people who are like very similar to sort of what we were going through and Boy Pablo, stuff like that. A lot of really like recent indie sounding stuff.
Nice. So now, it's not just the two of you in the band, and here, we got to give some love to the other guys. So tell everybody about the other guys in the band, what their roles are, and kind of where they came from.
Yeah, so our drummer, his name is Nick Winter. He's from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. He and I go way back, kind of separately from Colin and I. But I think once we got together and started the band here, that really kind of changed. Colin and him got pretty close, and now I think we're all three best friends at this point, which is nice. But yeah, we got him. I just knew him forever. He was drumming at his church, and I was like, "Hey, man, what do you think? Why don't we do like a band? Why don't we just jump in this together?" And he was really in at first, and then he was like, "I don't know," and then he was like, "Okay, let's do this." So I think once we actually started writing music, that's when it kind of was like kind of flipped for him to be more involved. And then I think our honorary secret member of the band, he's also our touring guitarist. Since we're a trio, Frank Tonkar, he's our producer, one of our best friends in the world, and truly is like the extra member of our band. He's there pretty much every step of the way creatively with us. Obviously in the studio, anytime he has an idea, we shut up and listen. And yeah, any show we book, he's the first person we're getting a hold of. Are you available for this?
We're at his house right now recording a new song.
Ah, there you go. So look, what is a live show like for you guys? What's the experience for someone who finds you, loves your music, you're in their neighborhood, they get a chance to see what can you expect for the price of admission?
Yeah, I mean, we try to run our merch table as much as possible so that we can interact with everybody who's come to see us, because that's like the main reason that we want to play live, is we want to meet the people who we've connected with as artists. Um, we try to hang out as much as we can without like the venue being like, hey, go clean up. um, so there's that. We really like to interact with everybody as much as we can. We have a lot of bits on stage. I think there's a lot of like hidden comedy in our shows, and people who have come to multiple shows are picking up on bits and kind of taking part in them now. So there's a lot of like little miniature extracurriculars going on, but then also just we're really gonna just try to put on the best show we can and sound as good as we can every time.
Excellent. And you guys are based in Nashville now?
Yeah, we just moved from Williamsport, Pennsylvania.
Yeah. So what's that experience been like for you guys?
It's a change.
Yeah, it's like 90 degrees right now.
I'm in Dallas, Texas. It's 98, so I don't feel bad for anybody.
Yeah, of course. But it's really nice. We have a community of like artists and friends that we've kind of stumbled into over the past few years. That was already established here, that we've just been able to kind of come in and be a part of, including Frank, which is just huge for us.
Well, it's nice. I'm sorry, Colin.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. Continue.
It's nice to. So we live in the same house. So we have like our whole practice spot is in the garage. So it's nice to just be able to like go down, hang out, watch football on the TV or in the practice spot, and riff around a little bit and hit out practices and just write music. Basically, whenever the vibe hits, and that's been a huge positive change.
Yeah. I mean, well, there are a lot of people to get to know in the Nashville area. We've had a number of artists on from the Nashville area, and if you get a chance to meet a guy by the name of Billy Harvey, go for it. You want to meet Billy Harvey.
Okay.
After listening to what you guys are doing, I think there'd be it's a nice amalgamation of personalities that I think you guys would get along. So Billy Harvey is definitely a guy you look out for in the Nashville area. You've had a run of shows this summer. What's the rest of the year look like for you guys?
We're recording more music. We're trying to put out as much music as we can without giving up any quality. So finding that balance of how much we can do in a certain amount of time while it's still as good as we can make it. And then, of course, always trying to book more shows, hoping to play around, maybe get a run somewhere around here in the Midwest or on the East Coast or something.
I think the plan is a tour as soon as possible.
Yeah, we want to tour. I miss touring.
Great. Well, if you ever play the Dallas area, I'll be there with my cameras, and we'll definitely get photos for you guys, for sure. One of the things that we like to do here on the Hang is to get to know about people's aspirations, I guess. And I'm not a bucket list kind of guy. I'm a go out and do shit kind of guy. But if you had an opportunity, each of you, to choose another artist to get into a studio with for a day and be creative with, who would it be, and why are you choosing that person? Colin, you go first.
Bill Wirtz. I love Bill Wirtz.
I love Bill Wirtz. Knew it.
He's like one of my favorite like modern avant-garde kind of artists. I think he's done like this sort of like new jazz like feel with his songs, where he like the modulations and stuff in each of the songs are just, I just think he's so interesting as a creative person. I would just love to hear like what he would add to our sound.
And Austin, how about you?
I would have to go with Wallows for me. They're just so current and influential in my everyday life. They're definitely like my dream artist to work with.
There you have it, everybody. I think we've had 1, 2, 3 assignments so far in this episode. For everyone who's stuck around with this far, you got a lot of work to do to help these guys out. Now, and this is where the help really comes in. For those of you who watch us on the regular, there's no way that they're going to tour the Midwest the Northeast, the East Coast, or anywhere on the royalties that you make on Spotify. It's just not going to, they're probably going to have enough money for either to pay the rent of the house or maybe a little extra beer, but that's probably about it. On the good side, I'm being generous. But so it's super important more now than ever, because art doesn't come free, that you support the band. All the links will be below. Go out and buy their music. Don't just sample it. Buy their music, buy their merch, go to their shows, support the band. It is so important if for the survival of creativity for humankind that we support our artists. So please go out and do that. But with that, one thing that we like to do, and I think I totally know one of Colin's answers to this question, because he totally looks like a Swiftie. Especially if Austin's going down the Sabrina Carpenter route. Who are like 2 or 3 artists that you're currently listening to that you absolutely are like, you get up in the morning, like, I want to listen to this, or it's on your playlist for your workout, or you're just like, if you're not making your own music, who do you really want to listen to? And Colin, it could be Taylor. I mean, totally could be Taylor, but she gets so many shout outs, dude, that she's making a lot of money, great. And she can do things on her Spotify royalties. But it can be a classic band. It can be someone new. It can be a band you've met out on the road that you really like. Who are 2 or 3, and why do you like them? Colin, go first.
Sure. Mac DeMarco. Love Mac DeMarco. Big Mac DeMarco fan. Peach Pit. Love Peach Pit. I already mentioned them, but I've been super into especially their recent stuff. It's been really good. Hippocampus. I love Hippocampus. I think they're very good.
Oh yeah.
Very, very West Coast vibe.
Mm-hmm.
That's a majority, I'd say, of the stuff I'm listening to recently.
I think this is the 3rd time Hippocampus has been brought up actually on an episode. So it's time to get checking them out for sure. Yeah. In between when he's listening to Taylor Swift. How about you, Austin?
Right now, I'm really big on Dayglow. Obviously Wallows, Sabrina Carpenter, but still Woozy for years, probably since 2017 or 2018. Still Woozy has consistently been in my top artists anywhere, so I'm always listening to Still Woozy.
Well, everybody, go out and buy their merch, buy tickets, buy music, support these bands, sample. Don't say sample Hippocampus quickly. That's not going to work. Those 2 words together don't try and string those together in a sentence, but go out and check those artists out. I've left one more surprise to the very end for you guys. And this one's really left food. I'm kind of curious. Your current, the person you're working with for your PR, which of you guys found Scott? Which one you found?
This is a really fun story. Our graphic designer, who was just someone who had listened to us and liked our vibe, Jenna, she reached out to us with this whole spread of graphic design stuff and was like, hey, I made this stuff. I listen to you guys. I think you're really cool. And we were like, immediately like, oh, we need to pay her to do this. We can't design our own stuff anymore. This is crazy. So we've been working with her for quite a while now, and she actually introduced us to Scott.
Really?
I think she like gave us his contact information and got us in contact with him.
Yeah.
Well, Austin, I'm going to lay something on you guys right now that's going to blow Colin's mind. You ready? Scott's also an RIT alum.
Oh, really? I did not know that. Wow. Small world.
Hold on, let me go get into that real quick.
So apparently now, I mean, the RIT connections are going to run deep in this band for sure.
Jeez.
Yeah. So I think we're going to have to make sure that RIT knows about this episode and gets this out to the alumni base as well to help pump
we'll play. We'll play at RIT.
Oh, absolutely.
I was on college activities board once. I booked the band. So, we got to get you guys played on WITR, right, Colin?
Let's do it. Witter.
Awesome, for sure. Guys, this has been a ton of fun, a lot of surprises. for sure. But go out, support Austin the Powers, Austin and Colin. It's been great. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Everybody who's made it this far, we love it when you finish up with us and get to the end of the episode. Please continue to share these. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Do what you can to help us, because the more that you help us, the more that we help artists like these guys. So everybody, thanks so much for hanging with us today, guys. It's been great getting to know you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
A lot.
Thanks for having us.
Take it easy, everybody. Till next time. Bye for now.